Hi everybody, Alex here from Expert Forex, and in today's video we're going to be looking at indicators. Most traders use indicators at some stage in their lives to confirm or to provide major entry and exit signals. In particular, I'm going to show you a fact that a lot of people don't know is that you can make one indicator give the same signals as another indicator. And you can currently see an example of that where the moving average is giving the same signals as the RSI 50 line crossover. Okay, when I started out in Forex trading, we invested thousands and thousands of dollars in education, in courses, in books and things like that. And one of the books that we purchased was this Encyclopedia of Technical Market Indicators, where every single known indicator is analyzed in this particular book. It's the most fantastic book. It gives you the code of the indicator. It analyzes the indicator over approximately 80 years. And it gives you the strengths and weaknesses of the indicator. The best investment we've made, and we spend months studying this particular book. And the best indicator, if tested over an 80-year period on the New York Stock Exchange, is shown in this book, and you'll be surprised what it actually is. We also invested in this book, and Martin Pring's got a whole series of books, and this book ties up all the technical analysis aspects of trading very nicely. It's quite a thick book, quite an expensive book, still available today. Both books are still available today. And again, this is a book that we studied word for word. And not only did we study it, we opened charts and used those charts and recreated the scenarios that these books talk about and tested those indicators, and we compared indicators with indicators. So we spent a huge amount of time learning and researching the Forex market as well as the technical analysis aspects of trading. And what we found after all of this investigation and education and learning is that most indicators give the same signals at the same time in the market. So if the MACD gives a sell signal, you find the RSI gives a sell signal, the moving averages give a sell signal, and so on and so on. So the areas of variation very small, but you'll find that most indicators give the same signals. The other thing is that you can duplicate the indicator signals. You can make the moving average give the same signals as the RSI, and the RSI the same signals as the moving average. So the indicators are not that unique and not that special, and you need to develop these skills so that you can realize that it takes a bit of time, experimentation and all that, to find settings that duplicate the indicators and also give signals at the same time. We also learned a lot about indicator sensitivity. Now, you can increase the sensitivity of an indicator by just decreasing the period that it measures. So a 4 setting on a moving average is much more sensitive than a 40 setting on a moving average. You can also increase the sensitivity of an indicator by just using shorter time frames. So the signals that you get on a 4-hour with an identical indicator and setting will be more sensitive if you are using a 1-hour or a 15-minute time frame. So those are basic indicator principles. And there are some more basic indicator principles. As you can imagine from the previous discussion, there is no such thing as a perfect setting for an indicator, because the settings will vary by currency that you're trading, by time frame that you're trading, and from the market phase that you're trading. So indicators do not have this magical perfect setting. Now, that's very important to have a balance between sensitivity and profitability, because if your indicator is too sensitive, you're going to be whipsawed and it'll give you false signals and you will lose profitability. So there's a very delicate balance that you need to find about the period of your indicator and the profitability of the indicator. An indicator that's too sensitive will give you too many false signals. Now, the only way of getting to know which settings give you the best chance of success is by experimentation, back trading, and testing these EAs, and also visual inspection on the actual charts. Put the moving average on and see if you like the signals that it's giving. If you don't like it, start playing around. Maybe you should increase the period, or decrease the period, or increase the offset of the indicator, and that type of thing. Play around with it until you find a setting that looks good on the chart. Now, on your chart here, you can see the same signals being provided by the moving average crossover system and the RSI. So when the RSI crosses over the 50 line, it gives the same signals as the as when the price crosses over the moving average line, and there is a typical example. Also pointed out here, however, is that the RSI has an advantage because it can see divergences. So the RSI has an advantage over the moving average indicator in that you can see divergences as shown on your chart. So if you have a choice to trade the moving average indicator or the RSI, you might as well go for the RSI because it has a lot of other bonuses built in. And here's a longer term view of the same chart showing you how those transactions happen at the same time. Now, please don't ask me what settings I'm using. And the point of this video is that you have to go and experiment and find settings that match your currency, your time frame. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is give you some ideas on how you can experiment and change your indicators to give you signals that are more acceptable to you. Now, on the screen at the moment, I have the 4 moving average. So let's have a look at it. It's the 4 moving average, and I'll just go in there. And it's a 4. It's a simple moving average. It's based on the close, and it's all in red. So this one is pretty useless because the idea of a moving average is that it should give you buy and sell signals. This one doesn't give you much there. So how can we improve this indicator? So the first thing I would do is I would increase the period of the indicator. That's one way. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to I'll just add another indicator. Insert indicator, and we'll go trend, and we'll go moving average, and we'll go, let's go to 21, and we'll give it a yellow color, and it'll be simple and easy, and away we go. All right, so now suddenly we have an indicator that is quite interesting because it gives really good signals, because there's a beautiful crossover. It keeps you in the trend all the way. It then reverses, and then it puts you into a fantastic downward trend and keeps you in that downward trend for a long time. So suddenly the useless indicator that you've had previously, by just changing the period, has become a much more useful one. Again, beautiful buy signal there, and it kept you in, and out you went over there. Beautiful buy signal there, kept you in, and out you went. There are periods of whipsaws. Here they are. And here's a possible whipsaw period, but I think you'll agree with me that the 21 moving average has made a huge improvement on the type of trades that you would take. So it's all about experimentation, playing around, but in the end you have to visually see that the one's better than the other on the chart. That's the way of fitting the indicator to the price action that's currently happening on the chart. I hope this gives you some ideas. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it's given you some food for thought about how you use your indicators. And please develop those skills, personalize that skills. You must never rely on other people to give you settings for your indicators. Also, remember, you are the boss. The indicator is your slave. You use the indicator to achieve your goals. The indicator is not your boss. A lot of people think oh, the indicator will tell me what to do. No, you tell the indicator what to do, what kind of signals you want, and you have to do that by experimenting with the signals. A slave is only as good as the instructions you give that slave. So from me, Alex Deploy, cheerio.